y'all, this is Marley K. Got a story for you and some commentary, but it's relevant and it's tied to AI. And this story came from The Guardian. It came out on the 2nd of May. And it says Godfather of AI, Jeffrey Hinton, quits Google and warns over dangers of misinformation. So it says the neural network pioneer says dangers of chatbots were quite scary and warns they could be exploited by bad actors. Now, my question is, why is it that these people don't ever see this until it is too late? It's almost like they do it as a dare. I just can't understand. The other thing is, and I'm sorry for anyone who is not of the African American persuasion watching this today, because I have a question for other people, in particular, white people, Caucasian people. Why is it that your collective group, not you, so don't be like not all white people, because I don't tolerate that on this channel. Why is it that white people collectively get together with other groups or coerce other groups or work with other groups because y'all colonized more than just us, but they tend to work with you and we tend to not to, more than other groups. But why is it that white people, Europeans, um, other groups tend to work on this stuff, come up with these ideas, create all this evil, wicked, demonic stuff that, is always used to somehow weaponize, is weaponized against us, or somehow destroy something natural order, the natural earth itself. You just cannot make this stuff up. It's like, who goes to bed and says, "Oh, I'm gonna come up with some artificial intelligence so I can make it talk to people, and I'm gonna make it so it can chat with people while it's online. Oh, I'm gonna make something. It's gonna be so good it can, uh, take away jobs. People won't need to work. Then I'm gonna make something so it can be a man or a woman to a person online, or a child, and that individual on the other side of the computer will never know it is interacting with something that is not real." Who goes to bed and thinks about this stuff and wakes up and decide, I'm gonna go into a lab and make it and destroy humanity? Who says I'm going to wake up and make a bomb so it can blow up the whole earth? It can kill millions of people, and I'm going to sleep good every night. I'm going to be rich and I'm going to sleep good every night. Who does that? I don't understand. Not on one day. Never in my 51 years have I ever got up and like, "Oh, I got a destructive idea. I'm gonna wake up and figure out how I'm gonna control people, or I'm gonna wake up and figure out how I'm gonna make a bomb or make guns," or like, none of this stuff that we are dealing with today, we did not have. So many of these things we did not have until white people, Caucasian people, European people created them along with their co-conspirators. And then when they make it, and then it screws up stuff, and they're like, "Oh, I'm gonna quit now. I've already been rich. I've already got my accolades. I've been rewarded. I've done all the secretive stuff, but now I'm almost to the end. Now I'm old and I'm having regrets. Now I kind of want to repent and don't want to take responsibility for what I did. I want to kind of shout out something and give people a heads up. But I've been working on this stuff and made it, to this point. But this year now, all the backlash, I didn't know people were gonna uh, not like it. I didn't know it was gonna be used in this way. Like, I don't understand. I just don't understand. But anyway, I'm gonna get off my soapbox. All right, so let's get into this story. The man often touted as the godfather of AI has quit Google, citing concerns over the flood of misinformation, the possibility for AI to upend the job market, and the existential risk posed by the creation of true digital intelligence. Dr. Jeffrey Hinton, who, with two of his students at the University of Toronto, built a neural net in 2012, quit Google this week, as first reported by the New York Times. Hinton, 75. 75. This dude is older than my daddy. So he been mixing up and stirring up and doing all kinds of things to destroy humanity. And now he wanna quit and cry for help. Like, I just don't understand. I don't understand. Hinton, 75, said he quit to speak freely about the dangers of AI and in part regrets his contribution to the field. He has brought he was brought on by Google a decade ago to help develop the company's AI technology, and the approach he pioneered led the way for current systems such as ChatGPT. Now, this is where, people, I get accused all the time of having strong convictions. I've been accused over the years for having strong convictions because I refused to go work in the corporate sector because with my business background and my spiritual personality and discernment, I never saw the intent, I just could see the dirty parts of it. And I have people tell me, oh, money ain't bad, money ain't bad, money ain't bad, blah blah. Sometimes money is bad. A lot of times money is bad. In this country, money is bad because what do you have to you always got to compromise something to get it. Or you always got to hurt somebody. And maybe you don't hurt them directly, you're hurting them indirectly. And so because I'm an overthinker in the way that my mind thinks, I tend to think on the side of the Bible, and I just tend to try to not do things that will harm people, especially when you know those things have the potential to harm them. Like I don't know. I just can't imagine, doing some of this stuff like with this technology. Those people on the inside, sometimes I think Watchman Nehemiah, somebody was telling me one time that a lot of times people are used for their gifts, talents, skills, and abilities, and they're tricked. They're like, oh, I got this new product. I know how to do this thing. They're lured by corporate America, given a lot of money. You got to do these things they tell you to do, but they never really tell you in the end what it is that they want to do. Now, I understand that a little bit, and I agree with the sentiment somewhat. But when you are spiritual and when you read the word and you understand what the word says and you know where you live, like we've always known, like African American people in particular should know we are in the belly of the beast. So there is no way we should be, we should have been trying to live set apart and not intertwined in this system. But here we are, we got to use their internet because we ain't set apart. We are part of this system. We're still in the belly of the beast. But if we were living set apart, we would be living as peculiar people. We would be living, on perhaps some designated land and living off that land like Native Americans do on tribal reservations, or say like Mennonite or Amish communities, that type of thing. Like those are peculiar groups of people who um, stay true to their traditions, but also try to minimize dealing with this nation because, for different reasons, while the Native Americans have their own traditions and culture, say Mennonites and the Amish communities, they're, for all intended purposes, Christians, and so they tend to live a set apart life. As African Americans, that's what we should have been doing. But we are so entangled in this system. Now here we are about to be ensnared by it because we rely on technology, or we are forced to use the technology um, for our daily bread. I use it for work. The children require it for school. But if we had traditional homes where kids were homeschooled like they did back in the old days, or we in our community taught our children for whatever they needed to serve our community, like other groups, we wouldn't need to send our kids to public school. So our kids wouldn't need to use computers. Our kids wouldn't need to use cell phones. Our kids wouldn't need to participate in this wicked society. And so now here we are having to deal with the fact that AI is going to eat us all up or zap us or whatever it's going to do. But it definitely is demonic. We can pretty much guarantee that. And everybody can see it. We can all see, those of us with spiritual eyes, that Satan has been unleashed, or our adversary, Yah's adversary, has been unleashed on this earth, and he is no longer hiding. So when I see people who take these jobs and come up with these ideas and take these opportunities and make this stuff. And then, after years of getting rich and making a profit and making a name for yourself and, getting pats on the back and being invited to special meetings and being allowed in certain circles, then you have a change of heart. But you've already benefited from it. Your stuff has already harmed people. Like, hundreds of thousands of people have already been laid off in America, but even around the world, like these rich people who are coming up with this global system, they've already implemented this stuff. And it's already been harming us. So I don't understand, why people can't see that, or they couldn't see. It's too late now, but why can't people see before they take these opportunities? We're so anxious to be accepted and so greedy for money and so willing to compromise our convictions, and at times so soulless. And we think so little of our fellow man that, we'll get the bag and think about the people later. We will, take the accolades and, get the benefits. You get the retirement, you get the pension, you get the, nice lot of land, or you get a couple of houses, a couple of cars, get some money to leave your family members, your immediate family members. But you done screwed up the whole world with your invention, and you now want to cry and you regret doing what you did. Like, I that's between him and God. But, it's really frustrating. Like, we wouldn't be in this situation if people would be forward thinking and not be so selfish and take these opportunities offered to them by opportunistic, um, let's say, demonic folks. How about that? Anywho, let me get back to the story. I'm sorry. Um, He told the New York Times that until last year, he believed Google had been a proper steward of the technology, but that changed once the computer guy who knows all things companies started incorporating a chatbot into its Bing search engine, and the company began becoming concerned about the risk to its search businesses. Some of the dangers of AI chatbots were quite scary, he told the BBC, warning they could become more intelligent than humans and could be exploited by bad actors. Well, how could they be more intelligent than humans when humans have been programming them? Because basically, all the chatbots have been doing is scraping all the information that we have put on the internet, everything we put on Facebook, in emails, in text. When we speak into Alexa and speak into our microphones because we're too lazy to type something, you do talk to text or talk to type, use those programs. Like all that stuff that's all the AI is. So we fed it, then they programmed it. And so now it works like we would because they've been able to program it that way. But it never would have been so had human beings not done it. And, for those of you who understand about the fallen angels and the apocrypha, we understand how they got this knowledge. So that's the other thing, because we are not well versed in history, we're repeating history. It's able to produce lots of text automatically, so you can get lots of effective spam bots. It will allow authoritarian leaders to manipulate their electorates, things like that. So if he's saying it, that means they've already been doing it. That's my opinion. I don't know, I don't have no proof, but that's what I'm saying. But he added he was also concerned about the existential risk of what happens when these things get more intelligent than us. I've come to the conclusion that the kind of intelligence we're developing is so very different from the intelligence we have, he said. So it's as if you had 10,000 people, and whenever one person learned something, everybody automatically knew it. And that's how these chatbots can know so much more than one person. He is not alone in the upper echelons of AI research in fearing that technology can pose serious harm to humanity. Last month, Elon Musk said he had fallen out with the Google co-founder Larry Page, because Page was not taking AI safety seriously enough. Musk told Fox News that Page wanted digital superintelligence, basically a digital god, if you will, as soon as possible. Y'all hear that? So while y'all letting y'all children use these phones and tablets, and that goes for me, my grandchildren. Every time I turn around, they got a phone stuck in their face. And I have to find stuff for them to do so I can get it out of their faces. But their parents allow them to walk around with them all day, all night. They're just babysitters. These chatbots are putting things in these children. And so you wonder why these kids going to school acting crazy about these phones. You take a phone from them, they act like they're about to commit suicide. This is serious. And so, a time is coming where these people going to be acting out about these phones, and these phones are going to be conditioning folks in this the computers and the tablets. They're going to be conditioning folks, especially once all this IoT um, is put in place and this broadband infrastructure is set up to do what it's supposed to do, along with the 5G and the 6G. It's gonna be something. So trust me, you ain't gonna want to have any technology on your person or in your household. It's gonna be just enough to survive the crazies who do have it and don't see anything wrong with it. So again, there's going to be a benefit to being set apart. So just be of good cheer right now. You don't understand, but I believe if we are here to witness some of the stuff that comes before the trouble starts, we are going to appreciate being set apart. Valerie Pisano, the chief executive of MILA, the Quebec Artificial Intelligence Institute, said the slapdash approach to safety in AI systems would not be tolerated in any other field. The technology is put out there, and as the system interacts with humankind, the developers wait to see what happens and then makes adjustments based on that. We would never, as a collective, accept this kind of mindset in any other field, in any other industrial field. There's something about tech and social media where we're like, yeah, sure, we'll figure it out later, she said. Hinton's concern in the short term is something that has already become a reality. People will not be able to discern what is true anymore with AI generated photos, videos, and text flooding the internet, which is another reason why you're not going to be on it. The recent upgrades to image generators such as Midjourney mean people can now produce photorealistic images, one such as Pope Francis in the Balenciaga puffer coat that went viral in March. Hinton was also concerned that AI will eventually replace jobs like paralegals, personal assistants, and other drudge work, and potentially more in the future. So, again, when I talk about employment, you should be considering doing things manually because these cushion white collar jobs are going away. Google's chief scientist, Jeff Dean, said in a statement that Google appreciated Hinton's contributions to the company over the past decade. I've deeply enjoyed our many conversations over the years. I'll miss him and I wish him well. As one of the first companies to publish AI principles, we remain committed to a responsible approach to AI. We're continually learning to understand emerging risks while also innovating boldly. Toby Walsh, the chief scientist at the University of New South Wales AI Institute, said people should be questioning any online media they see now. When it comes to any digital data you see, audio or video, you have to entertain the idea that someone has spoofed it. So that's really tragic because, here we are getting ready to go into another election cycle, which I'm sure that's why this AI was unleashed when it was. We're getting ready to go into World War III. So there are a lot of reasons behind it. In addition to they need to transition this system, so it's just going to be a lot of confusion, a lot of confusion. And so again, I feel sorry for people who are not aware and who are not preparing for what's coming with this digitalization and this new technology that is out here, that has been unleashed upon us. I really think that it is going to be a problem for a lot of households because, you probably saw a story about the AI told the guy to commit suicide, and he did. Just imagine how many depressed kids going to be fooling up with this stuff, and if it's demonic and possessed and fallen angel technology, it's gonna be telling people to do all kind of stuff. Go, rape your brother, rape your sister, um, go delete XXX person. Um, it's gonna be wild. So I don't know how we are going to navigate this and keeping this stuff in your household. So again, if you have young people, family members with young children, you really want to be having conversations with them, and you should be encouraging people to wean their young people away from technology, um, because we can live without it. We have lived forever without technology. We did not have cell phones when we were little. We didn't go to school with phones. We didn't use computers. We didn't need tablets to read books. We didn't need computers to do research. We need to get focused on getting back to the basics. So, the way that we live, that's the way we need to be thinking and revert back to. Because